Yes, the thumbnail did not deceive you. You are seeing what you're seeing. This is a 2023 CVO Street Glide. This is a SHD custom from Speedway Harley-Davidson. And we're about to take a ride on this bike and talk about it. But before we get going, I wanted to apologize to y'all for not dropping Sunday's video. Sunday was a complete mess. I might have some footage from it still, and I may put out that video. But I was in the process of doing some things on Sunday, and the Ducati just cut off on me and wouldn't start back up. But that's a totally different story. Just wanted to apologize for y'all for not dropping that Sunday video, but we back at it, and I had to bring it back to y'all with something special for you. So let's get this thing going. So for those of you who did not see my other video on the new 2023 CVO, I'm going to go over some very brief specs and point out some changes they've made with the new CVO versus the previous one. One big thing is the weight savings. This bike weighs 838 pounds. The previous one was 866 pounds. Now that's only 28 pounds of weight saving, but it's extremely noticeable while riding. You're also now getting 139 foot-pounds of torque out of this 121 VVT Milwaukee 8 motor. On the previous gen, you were getting 126 foot-pounds of torque. It comes with this massive 12.3-inch display. This display is extremely vivid. It's running a Skyline OS system, and this is their new infotainment center. You finally get what people have been asking for from Harley-Davidson for so long. Full LED lighting on the touring bike. You got the integrated LED turn signals, which looks so good, especially when it's coming down the road. I mean, that stands out. And of course, you got full LED in the rear. The bags have been completely redesigned, and a lot of people were thinking these bags hold less storage, but they actually hold a little bit more, because I don't know if you can see it, but it's kind of bowled out. The bag curves out a little bit to give you that extra storage space, and I love the design. It looks really good. They also put a little wedge. I don't know if y'all can see that. It's right here, a little wedge in the bag. I don't know if that's for people who stunt. They're giving them room to wheelie or what. I don't know if Harley-Davidson was thinking in advance with that, but I do love that design. You've got an extremely comfortable seat, which all the CVOs have been known to come with that extremely comfortable seat. And you've got every single rider aid that Harley-Davidson offers on here. You also got some adjustable wind deflectors right here up front that you can adjust. You've got premium floorboards in the front. You've got standard pegs in the back, which, you know, I don't know why we didn't get floorboards, but I do like the look of these. You also got your heel toe shifter back, which I know a lot of people love that. And you got the option to adjust and deflect wind with this vent here. You can close it, or you can adjust where the wind's flowing. Another thing this bike has now is rider modes. You get rain mode, road mode, sport mode. I believe there's some customizable modes as well, but we're not going to play with those too much. You got the full Rockford system, which can be upgraded just by dropping in, I believe it's the 6x9 speakers, and the amp will automatically know you did that, and it'll up the amperage and sound so good. We actually tested that out while we were out in Milwaukee, and it sounded amazing. Now, do y'all want to see the coolest part? You got a drawer. You can stash things in there, such as your cell phone, your protection, if you know what I mean, candy. I don't know what else could fit in there. Your wallet, maybe. But it's also got a USB-C. So Harley's thinking about the future. Everything's been going USB-C. So you don't have the standard USB on here. You got the USB-C. Good job, Harley-Davidson. So before we hop on here and ride, I want y'all to let me know, what do you think of the look of this baby? I think it looks amazing. I'm a big fan of satin paint jobs and flat paint jobs and denim paint jobs, and this one looks good. It's a denim white color, but it has kind of some pearl in it. It's not going to pick up on camera, but there's definitely pearl in there. And then you got that deep dark charcoal black kind of color and the orange. It looks so good. I feel like this color looks better than the colors that this bike initially came out with. Did I say that right? I hope so. But let's hop on here and go for a spin. Before we crank her up too, if y'all are looking for a bike like this, Definitely go to Speedway Harley-Davidson's social media as well as their YouTube channel and check out their website. This bike is actually on there and available right now. I don't think you'll find another bike like this anywhere in the country, to be honest with you. Get her cranked up. I love that because you can actually change. I'm going to show y'all actually. So you got a few options here with your display. You've got more than just display options too, but we're going to jump here into settings. All right, so we are here in our settings. Here's where you get to pick what you want to display on your screen. You got a music option, a navigation option, info about your motorcycle. This screen is actually touch screen as well, but let's jump in settings. I showed this in the previous video, but I'm not sure if everyone got to see it. Of course, you got your Bluetooth set up. Your device manager, you got sound settings, and display is what I want to show you. When you jump into display, you got the option to change the layout on this motorcycle. Right now it's in cruise mode. That's my favorite mode. That's the mode it's probably going to be in while we're riding. But you can switch over to sport mode, which puts your tachometer and speedo right in the center, and you'll get information about the bike on the two sides, navigation on one side and some information on the other side. If you jump over to the tour setting, you get your speedometer as well as your gas over here. And then the middle is like GPS as well as a little bit of other information, which that's pretty cool depending on how you ride and what your riding style is, that you could customize this screen. There's also another option, which is really cool, which worked out great because of the color of this bike. You see how the screen and the display is white right now? Well, guess what? If you want it black, you can change it to black. I have it in the white mode because the bike is white and it makes it just look so good. So we're going to leave it in that mode. But that's cool that you got that option to have your screen either white or black. You've also got other options in here, like to adjust your ride modes. You jump in here. So you do got different modes. You got a custom A, custom B, and then you got your rain modes. We got the custom A and B off because they haven't been set up. But you can customize specific ride modes for yourself. Looks like this bike actually has Wi-Fi as well. Not familiar with that. Haven't messed with it. All right, so we're going to go ahead and throw the navigation up in the center screen, as you can see there, and we're going to crank her up. There we go. All right, let's get moving. You don't even feel her go into gear anymore. There we go. We're in first gear, and we're pulling off. So how we were talking about the weight, that this bike is only 28 pounds lighter, but it feels substantially lighter. I don't know where they did the weight savings at or if they rebalanced it, but it doesn't even feel like a touring motorcycle. It feels so light, so unintimidating, like no one should be intimidated by this bike, and extremely nimble and maneuverable. It has an amazing feel to it. Another thing is, I kind of am in love with that raw, vibrating V-twin type of motor from Harley-Davidson. That's why I love my Ducati so much, because it just feels so raw. You feel all those vibrations. The motorcycle basically feels alive. With this bike, it feels extremely refined, which would be better for longer riding because your hands and everything aren't going to sometimes make your feet feel numb, those type of things. It's not going to do that on this bike. You can tell they really refined this motorcycle. All right, right now we're riding in rain mode. Rain mode is extremely toned down from your other modes, such as sport mode and road mode. But that's great for someone who's new to a touring lineup and they are not very comfortable with the throttle or that low-end torque that Harley-Davidson's put out. You got that option to ride in rain mode until you're comfortable with the motorcycle. And rain mode still puts out enough power for you to enjoy your ride. Because check this out. You hit the gas and it goes. The bike will go. It definitely has enough power, but it's not overpowered. And that's great for newer riders, new people to the touring lineup, as well as if it's actually raining out. You know, that'll reduce some of that torque going to that rear wheel, so that way you don't have to worry about slipping. But all those rider aids on the bike will help prevent that as well. We're gonna go ahead and hop in road mode. The cool thing about this bike too is you can actually switch modes while riding. There are some motorcycles where you have to pull over to switch into another mode, but on this one you don't have to do that, which is great, because if you're out on the highway, let me hop over. If you're out on the highway, you don't want to have to pull over to switch into sport mode if you want to have a little fun after you've been cruising for a long time. You can just hit that button, throw it in road mode, sport mode, rain mode, and you're ready to go. Now, road mode kind of feels like your traditional Milwaukee 8 motor, like a 114 or 107. You know, you got plenty of power there, but it's not ridiculous. Your throttle feels extremely smooth, it's well refined, and it's putting out the power as you deliver it. Sport mode is a damn beast. So we're gonna jump in sport mode. That's my favorite mode. Now we're getting caught at a light, so let's talk about ergonomics. I am 6 feet tall. I think I'm about 225, 228 right now. Let's just round it to 230. I'm a big dude. And the bike feels extremely comfortable. The seat is comfortable. The seating position is comfortable. It does feel a little bit smaller than the Road Glide, but that's probably because your Road Glide fairing sits a little bit further away from you. So it's going to feel like you got more room up here. This bike handles so well. You got heated grips and all of that on the bike as well. With these floorboards, I can adjust my feet if I'm getting uncomfortable. If I'm out with my dress shoes on, I don't have to worry about scuffing them up because I can use that heel toe shifter. All of the things that you think about that you would want on a luxury machine, Harley-Davidson has done that for you. We're not going to get to test out the acceleration. I did it on another video because there's too much traffic up here, unless they seriously go a little bit so I can accelerate and see what she feels like. We can do it real quick. We got a clear setting and we're in second gear. Roll on. Look at them speedometer go. It moves. Bam. We're at a speed. It accelerates extremely quickly. This bike has a ton of torque, a ton of performance. It moves. That's all I can say. It moves. It feels nimble. It doesn't feel like a touring bike, but it's a full-size touring bike. Like, what more could you possibly want out of a motorcycle? It does come with a hefty price tag, but you know, that's what you're going to get when you're actually looking at a premium motorcycle like a CVO. I mean, think about it. People buy premium cars such as Lamborghinis and those high-end Porsches, Audis, R8s. All of those have a very hefty price tag on them, and you're paying for that premium feel or that premium name. This is considered, Harley-Davidson is a premium brand, and this is a premium motorcycle. I hear people always talk about, oh, it's too much. Well, you get what you pay for. And this is a quality bike. A lot of people like to compare this to an Indian. I don't feel like it looks nothing like an Indian. I actually went and checked out some of the Indians. The finish, the paint, the quality of the bike, it's just not up to par to be considered a premium brand. Is Indian a straight piece of shit? No. But it's not as high of quality as the Harley-Davidson motorcycles. I mean, just the design language, you can tell the lines of the motorcycle, everything about this bike screams, I'm a premium motorcycle. So you get what you pay for. Now, of course, I got a couple gripes with the bike, as I have with every motorcycle I ride. One of my gripes is the exhaust still is not putting out that grunt that I want to hear. But to be fair, when the guys ride the bike back and forth past, you can hear the exhaust better than you can on some of the other Harleys. So I don't know if they toned it a certain way to where the exhaust note is throwing out the back, but it does make a little bit of noise. I just wish it made more noise. As of right now, I don't believe there's a ton of aftermarket accessories for the new CVOs, but they're coming. I just love the way this cockpit area looks. Like, look at that. I mean, with the white screen, the white trim, man, this just feels so good to be on this motorcycle. Like, even if it's only for a short period of time, I am loving being out here riding this new CVO. It just, when you get out here, you ride these bikes, man, it literally lets you see how far Harley-Davidson has come. Because, you know, I got the older generation Harleys. I got a Sportster That's a vibrator. Like, that baby vibrates like crazy. And my new, not new, well, new to me, but old to everybody else, my 2006 Dyna, it vibrates more than my Sportster. I mean, I love that feel and that vibration and that rawness of that motorcycle, but this is so much more comfortable, so much more nimble, handles a lot better, and it feels, honestly, it feels just as light as my Dyna, if not lighter. And I don't even get how they did that. It handles the corners so well, and a lot of people love to upgrade their motors, do things to it to get more performance out of it. In actuality, you ain't really got to do too much more. This bike has more than enough performance, but if you want it to, you can. That's the good thing about Harley. Like, they're just non-stop upgradable. You could just, they're like a Lego puzzle or something. You could just keep upgrading, upgrade. You could upgrade to your heart's desire and keep changing things on them. That's like just crazy, but you don't even need to. You could just take this baby from the showroom and ride and have fun. So as far as me, if I would physically own this motorcycle, yes, I would, if I could afford it. But you know, my pockets ain't built like that. If I was able to borrow one of these, like, that just sounds crazy. No one's gonna let me borrow a CVO, but to go touring on one of these, I definitely would. I would go exploring, touring, seeing some sights, man. This bike is just so comfortable, you don't want to get off of it. You really don't. I hope y'all enjoyed that little brief display or show of this SHD custom CVO. I mean, I'm loving this bike. I'm looking forward to next year. I wonder what Harley-Davidson has in store for us. Like, if they drop this mid-year this year, something this epic, they must have some big plans next year. They about to do something crazy, I'm assuming. So we're about to pull back up into Speedway Harley-Davidson. If you are ever around this way, definitely swing by and check out the showroom. They have so many SHD customs, and I feel like there's more baggers in here than I've ever seen in my life. But make sure you're subscribed to the channel, like this video, comment down below, let me know what you think of this bike, all that good stuff. And yeah, go check me out on IG and Facebook as well. All right, I'll see y'all later.